Okay, this is part two in a series of landscape projects we're doing. This one is going to be more of a desert scene. So what I want to do is I want to start by checking my bottom plane here and going to the textures and finding something that, might look interesting on the ground. It kind of depends here. Antique pots might be interesting. Arizona might be interesting. You can see here it's going to be a little bit rocky looking. Alright, the other thing I might want to do here now is I want to add a mountain. And you can see here that my mountain is kind of ugly looking. What I would suggest is making the mountain large, dropping it so that the plane just goes below the surface, like that. Now, the other thing I want to do is I want to go edit my mountain. I want to change the resolution to maybe 256 or 512. And this one's a little bit different in that I'm going to paint the entire mountain kind of a grayish color here. And then I want to go in with a brush and, paint some high areas. And I just kind of randomly select, and you can see up here that it's doing some weird things to my project. Okay, and basically that gets me started. And then I want to go a little bit, actually maybe I'll put a couple really high peaks in there. And I want to go down a little bit lower here and start to kind of paint around these areas. And then I get a little bit lower and paint a little bit more. And it doesn't really look like I'm doing much here. And why would I want to do this with my mountain? What we're doing is we're taking this, what was a mountain, and we're turning it into more of a desert scene. Alright, if that makes any sense. So you can see it, we're kind of looking like we've got this kind of Monument Valley kind of thing going on here. Just add some little bit of changes. And maybe a even deeper kind of chasm in the middle. And maybe another bit, maybe a smaller brush going down the middle. And then I want to add a little bit of my eroded kind of effect, just so that it kind of smooths things out. And then I'm going to check it. Okay, so I'm going to move that back down. I'm going to view it from above. Push out my scene a little bit so I can get a good view of it, and then look at it. So you see how I have this kind of desert looking scene. What I want to do now is I want to edit my texture. So it either looks like Arizona or maybe wind blasted rock. And I want to change my sky so that it looks desert-y, if that's even a word. Don't want to live here, warm night, golden sunset. And really the colors that come along with this really affect your scene. Like that one you wouldn't expect to be kind of green. So what I'm going to do is try to pick a different one, warm night. And now if I view it, okay. So now I'm going to make sure that I can change my texture here because I really don't like that texture. Try Arizona. Okay. Now what I may want to do is actually view this from zoomed in. So I'm going to want to zoom in even closer and then maybe tilt so that we're looking through the valley. Okay, so you can see how much of a difference just the angle makes in a scene. Now you can see that we're getting to, it's looking much more like a valley, a desert, and it's really dry. You can add some other things in here. You can add some miscellaneous rocks. You can add, a lone tree. And obviously, you've got to get them in the right spot. But, just basically play with it, add some things. You might even want to add some in your sky and fog. Bring in a little bit of fog or bring in some extra haze. That's maybe a little much. But if we view it again, you'll see that again it changes completely the more you play with it. So give it a shot. See if you can make something look really like a desert, and add some of your own effects in there, maybe some cactus. Enjoy.